Thanks, guys. And Lenore, we had a what about me moment from Steve Fielding this week as well.
We sure did. Wasn't that extraordinary? We were being told that the three amigos were holding us to ransom. These are the guys that were elected in the election we just had. And then came the suggestion that Steve Fielding might refuse to support anything the government did. This is the guy who was elected 2 elections ago with less than 2% of the Victorian vote, and who can't actually hold anyone to ransom or block supply anyway unless the coalition votes against it as well. It was, yeah.
Well, he got a very good run for somebody who can't actually deliver.
Well, that's. I guess it's his last hurrah, isn't it? If indeed he doesn't scrape over the line, which it appears he hasn't. And I mean, his want for that was the great thing in terms of journalism about Steve Fielding, was that he was always ripe fields for these sorts of quotes and silliness.
Now, Andrew Murray, the former Democrat senator, sent in some interesting figures to have a look at. First of all, have a look at how the Greens performed at this election. 11.4% in the House and 12.9% in the Senate. Now, let's go back to the last time we had a tight election result. In 1990, that was the Democrats, 11.3 in the House and 12.6 in the Senate, almost identical. And the Democrats, like the Greens, emerged from that election with 9 senators. And then they very quickly went backwards. I wonder whether the same fate awaits the Greens.
Well, I think this is the really... we're all talking about internal infighting on both sides of the major parties and who will be good friends with who amongst the independents. But I think the really fascinating question, which hasn't really been looked at, is how the new and expanded Greens operate. We don't really know much about the incoming Greens. I mean, a lot of them won't turn up till July, obviously, in the Senate, but it's going to change the dynamics of the way that the Greens work as a group within the Parliament. And once they're in this position of power, and particularly given the immediate influence of Adam Bandt in the House, they do have to make that transformation from being a bunch of Pearl Pure Hearts to being pragmatic political operators.
With an electorate, with a voting base that probably expects Pearl Pure Hearts.
Exactly, and how is that going to play for them? I mean, that's a fascinating statistic from Murray. And the fact that if they do become more mainstream in terms of a semi-formal alliance with Labor, is that going to hurt them out there where people have parked their vote because they've been so disenfranchised with the major parties, particularly Labor?
Well, we haven't heard much from Bob Katter this morning, so let's hear from him now.
Other countries have multi-party systems. We've got a sort of type of that happening now in Australia. We're moving out of the 19th century into the whatever we're in the 21st.
and thanks finally again for that.
I think we just missed a century there somewhere along the line.
What century is it again?